What's going on, Serve? What's going on, Daryl? What's up, Serve? What's up, T Dot? What's up, Sir Dave? What's going on, guys? Hey, did we finally get one more person in there? I last checked for that 12-player tourney that I put together. We were missing one more individual, man. We can't even get 12 booked in here quick. But I last checked about a half hour ago. We have 11. We need one more player for today's DFS Zone's 12-player $2 entry tournament. So we'll see. We need one more. So if anybody comes in here now, I did not see the posting. I could, matter of fact, I'll add the link. Let me see. I'm going to add the link. I'm going to put it right here right now. So if anybody's interested that did not, just go right to that link. If you're on Fanduel and you want to get in on the DFS Zone's 12-player little tourney today. Yeah, still need one more, right, sir? Yeah, that's what I figured. I checked about a half hour ago. There was still one more missing, so one more person will be good. Hey, how are you doing there, Angel? I just spotted you right now. What's up, Tori? What's up, Glenwood? Avenging Angel, she's going to whip all our butts. Hey, you know what? I threw a nice little lineup up there, nothing big. I just really want, the community here at DFS Zone to play, So I have no problem with putting $2, $5, and then just, giving you guys a chance to take it. I mean, I made a respectable lineup, but it's probably not the best lineup. What's up, Randy? All right, guys, man, these playoff games, this is the first live show for me in a couple of days. I mean, obviously I wasn't able to do Sunday for the first game of the playoffs. Hopefully some of you guys made some money. I did okay. I didn't make a lot of money, but I've been making some money. I've been winning my tickets for the NFL, which I'm really excited about because that's what I really want to get, as many of those as I can now. Well, let's discuss the slate. So, again, guys, what's up, Crypto? What's up, Calvin? What's up, Glenwood? Gabriel Santana, how you doing? Well, I tell you the truth, man. I'm going to get right to it as far as the slate is concerned. I mean, obviously, it's the playoffs. We all know. We all been doing DFS, WNBA pretty much the whole season. And we know that right now in a two-game slate like this with playoffs, everybody's available. But we are going to focus more so on, I really truly believe that we have to focus on players that play massive minutes and takes more than enough shots. And obviously, when we think about that, we think about each team's key core players. And we're going to have to find a combination that will work, that we'll be able to get enough value out of that lineup. But we definitely need to have those core 3 or 4. So looking at the slate, there's no doubt you can get 4 players, four decent players. It's just a matter of how you put them on here. So, I mean, Washington, Atlanta, at guard, for me, if you saw my earlier video, I pretty much am fading Tolliver. You know how much I do like Tolliver. I've mentioned her several times here through the course of the season. She's a tough cookie. She's going to be a gamer. She's going to take as many shots as she can. But she's been so far has been neutralized by this team in 4 games. She really hasn't had a fantastic or a big game against Atlanta all year. And like I said before in the first video for the first game of the series, I like Atlanta's guards over Washington's guards just simply because of the versatility that they have. I mean, it's like you have Hayes and Sykes. They're more like slashers. They could create their own shots and so on and so forth and are very aggressive at going to the basket, whereas Bentley and Renee Montgomery are more are more shooters and more streaky shooters, especially Montgomery. But Montgomery at 5,700 and Bentley at 6 compared to 62 and 7. I'm willing to bank, or I'm willing to at least play and recommend it. Maybe one of those girls you should take. Now, Bentley did have a good game the last game out in the first game. She put up 19, but 19 from the floor is fantastic. That's great numbers, but she didn't do a whole lot more as far as fantasy points. So she definitely needs to get more on the defensive side and make some things happen for that to really pay off for us. But I really like today taking a shot at Montgomery, because Montgomery, you just got to play her in the GPP. I mean, you know, you got to at least take a shot at her. 5,700 with the upside of almost 8x, you can't go wrong with her, you know. As far as Ariel Atkins is another one you could watch out for at 6,000. She's at 5,900. She went down $100 from the last game. So at 5,900, I think Ariel Atkins is a nice little play here too. She has 35 point upside. So she gets you 6-7x at 5,900. That's not a bad play, at least in my opinion. The matchup is good too. You know, she's very athletic. She's quick. She loves taking threes. She takes a lot of perimeter shots as well. So similar to Montgomery, I could see them having a little bit of a shootout a little bit. But these girls take massive shots, you know. So, I mean, you have to consider one of these girls up front. Tiffany Hayes is in play. She is the leading scorer on the team right now without McCourtry. I mean, really, she needs to put up more. But she's consistent. She's good. If you're playing cash plays, I definitely think she's a solid play. I always recommend her as a cash player. She's pretty consistent at 25 to 30. You can get that from her. At 7,000, that's pretty much, you know, 35 you pretty much need to get 5x. So it is a little pricey for Tiffany Hayes for what she can bring. As far as upside, doesn't have a whole lot of upside, you know. Natasha Cloud, I really like also at 5,600. I did recommend her the last time, and she had a fairly good game. I think that she's in play, in a strong position play for her today as well, simply because if they do continue to neutralize and give Tolliver a rough go, somebody's got to step up, and that's where either Ariel or Cloud are going to be the key factors for Washington as far as the backcourt is concerned. And Ariel Atkins is a starting 3, so even though she's on Fanduel here as a guard, she really plays a lot more forward, especially the 3 spot for Washington. So I definitely think she's in play. In the bottom tier here, as far as a value play, I'm really surprised that they did not use Monique Curry in game 1. I was really shocked, to be honest with you. Really shocked with Monique Curry not getting any minutes. She didn't play at all. Ruffin Pratt, I did recommend Pratt or Curry in game 1, and I thought either one would, but I really thought Curry will have more time. She's had the best success against this team, which is really a surprise. You know, she's pretty good away from home, 44% shooting from the floor and 33% from 3. So, I mean, I'm really surprised Curry didn't get enough time. And against Atlanta, she's at 54% and 67% respectively from 3. Small sample with the threes, only taking 3 threes in those 3 or 4 games, but nonetheless, she's hit 2 out of the 3, and she's 100% from the free throw line. She has gotten to the free throw line 8 times, and all 8 times she actually got all her baskets. So, I mean, I'm really surprised they did not use her. But again, she didn't play game 1. Chances are she'll play today a little bit on game 2. So definitely keep that in mind. Monique Curry, I think, could be a very sneaky play here today. When it comes to the forwards in this matchup, Della Don definitely in play. Love Della Don. Sanders as well as in play. I like Sanders more than Breland, and I like Elizabeth Williams more than Breland. So Sanders and Williams are probably the better plays at that 7,000 range. And then if you want to go for a stud, obviously the stud play, Eleanor Della Don is, you know, she's 50-point upside. She's been fantastic. She's actually have done very well against this team, you know, shooting pretty much 41 and 41% respectively from field goal range as well as 3-pointers. And, you know, she's a 5-tool player in basketball for this team. You know, she can score, she can shoot the free throws, she can hit threes, all right? She can slash and dash, she gets rebounds, she can pass the ball fairly well. She hits the perimeter shot from pretty much anywhere. So, I mean, she is a pretty good player all around. Coming down to the bottom tier, Monique Billings and Tiana Hawkins definitely in play for me as low value. They're the lowest as far as the value plays here. They're the lowest, in my opinion, that you can go with in this actual matchup, and probably in the whole entire slate, is Billings and Hawkins. And they both have done pretty well, and they actually both played quite a bit and did fairly well in game 1. Respectively for each against one another. So I like Hawkins, I like Billings, I like T-Hawk a little bit more, but Billings definitely is in play. And Going over to the Phoenix Seattle game, obviously until somebody solves Dewana Bonner, I am all over Dewana Bonner. I mean, she's just been the best player in the WNBA for the last like maybe 8-9 games. She's been just absolutely just been bananas playing, and nobody has been able to solve her as of yet. And until somebody does, I'm still in favor of having her in some of my lineups. So Dewana Bonner for me is definitely a solid play. 50-point upside. She's been incredibly just so busy. This team, this trio is very, very hard to handle. If you neutralize Bonner, you're gonna have to worry about Taurasi. If you neutralize Taurasi, you got to worry about Bonner. And if you do anything to get these girls off their game, then you got to deal with Griner up front. I think here in this matchup, obviously Seattle is better up front with Natasha Howard as well as Breanna Stewart, the MVP of the league. They're just wide wingspan. I love the fact that they're very athletic. They're lean girls. It makes it very tough on Griner. That's why Griner hasn't really had really, really great numbers against this team. She's still putting up respectable numbers, but she hasn't put up that massive 50 against this team. And that's why I still lean to Breanna Stewart as the better play here in this matchup, and one of the better plays in the entire front court in the entire slate. Shooting very, very well all the way around. I mean, so Breanna Stewart for me is definitely in play. As far as the girl, and as far as Bonner and Taurasi, obviously Bonner to me is the best play. Taurasi will probably be second. I love Jewel Lloyd. I was all over her in game 1. I'm definitely in favor of her again here today. I think the matchup is just perfect for her. She's athletic. These girls like to go up and down the court. Both of these teams play these guards for these teams, besides Bonner and Taurasi and then Bird and Lloyd, these girls don't take much breaks. They're on the court literally in the entire game, and they take massive shots. Lloyd takes about 20 to 22 shots a game. Bonner and Taurasi 22 to as much as 26 shots a game. If you look at the numbers over the last few games here, let me get the cruncher up. Bonner in the last several games, look at this: 18-5, that's 23 shots. 21-5, that's 26 shots. 19-7, that's 26 shots. I mean, averaging 26 shots a game. Jewel Lloyd, 16-5, that's 21. Only 8 here in the game. Obviously, they didn't need to. She didn't have to play that game. 13-6 prior to that. That's 19 shots. I mean, so she takes 19 to 20 shots on the norm. Taurasi takes massive shots as well, and that's what you want. Girls on the court, high floor, plenty of minutes, and you need to have at least 1 or 2 of these girls on your lineup. If you can, get them in there. Taurasi, 17-10. That's 27 shots. 16-10, 26 shots. 15-12, 27 shots. She's not taking no less than 25 shots in any of these games. And Taurasi's very aggressive, and she's going to keep coming. So Taurasi in play. Love Lloyd. Definitely love Bonner. I think they're my 2 favorite plays. Don't sleep on Sue Bird. She's pretty good as well. And then on the bottom tier here, I mean, I really don't like nobody down here other than Brianne January, and that's just simply because she plays enough minutes. So you gotta at least if you need to squeeze in 5,300, you gotta try to squeeze her in at 53 if you need to, because Canada's not gonna get enough time. Whitecomb didn't get any the other day. Turner for Phoenix got very minimal minutes. She may be the lowest value play here, and she might not even get you value. At 3,600, she gets you 10 or 11. You need really 15, and you're not going to get probably the entire 15 from Miss Turner with the minimal minutes she get. So maybe the lowest you would go here is probably January, and that's 5,300. You could get value in the forward spot with Alicia Clark being 5,200, and maybe taking a stab at Angel Robinson, who played some minutes in the last game. At 3,200, she's the cheapest value play in the entire slate, and it's up front. So I can see where that she will work out. You squeeze her in there. She don't have great numbers field goal percentage wise as well, or even at free throw shooting, and she doesn't get a whole lot of rebounds. She doesn't do a whole lot of it, but what the little time that she has there, she gets you 10 to 12 for 3,200. I think that's good enough, especially if that's going to help you be able to pay up and get yourself a stud or a mid-tier player that's going to be able to have great upside. So that's where I'm at as far as the players here. Cloud is in play. Definitely Stewart and Howard are in play. I mean, Alicia Clark is in one of my lineups. I mean, I had to squeeze her in there somehow. She has the capability of getting you 25 on a steady basis, 20 to 25. But if she can get me 30, that would be awesome. If she can get me 6x. All right, let me take a look here, guys, at what you guys got going on. Hey, did we get that one more person in there? We needed one more person. Anybody knows if we got that other person in there for that 12-player DFS Zone tournament for tonight? All right, Calvin asks, front court or back court, who's doing the most? Well, that's a tough question, but I think that is a tough question, man. To be totally, that's a great question. And this actual slate, to me, I say that there's a possibility the back court could be putting bigger numbers than the front court. But then you look at the front court, you got Deladon, Stewart, Griner, Sanders, who's pretty consistent, good for 30, 35. You got Breland, maybe 20 to 25 or so. Howard is a good 25 to 30. Miss Elizabeth Williams, she's probably the best possible play here at 6,900 because she's capable of getting you 40 somewhat points at 6,900. She's definitely priced pretty good, you know, at least compared to everybody else. So Elizabeth Williams could be a very nice play here. But yeah, I mean, you know, looking at this the way it is right now, I would say there's a possibility the front court has the ability to put up bigger numbers than the back court today. It's Phil, T-Dot, thank you for that. All right, so we finally got 12. I had to bring this down from 20 to 12 to get 12 players in there. Can't believe it. You know, you figure you get 20 players, 1, 2, 3 for $2. But you know, we'll see what happens. It'll be fun. Let's see who takes that down tonight, and then I'll definitely will post that tomorrow in the next show. I will mention it as well. Bonner and Lloyd, K Sizzle. Yeah, Deladon and Bonner and Lloyd, very nice. I love all three of them, man. Deladon is in most of my lineups as well as Jewel Lloyd. I love them too. I love both of those, and Bonner's in some of mine as well because I mean her price is just high, but you can get her in there. Those core three are fantastic. Yeah, Randy Jackson, you got to take a stab at Tolliver once in a while. I'm not on her today, but I'm not going to say that she's not. Everybody is available. I think the matchup is just a tough one for her. She hasn't really been able to solve the issue with scoring and being more consistent against against Atlanta, excuse me. So it's going to be tough for her, man, but she is capable. You know, I've said it here. If you've been following me, I always praise Christy Tolliver being a very good competitor. She is very grindy. She is tough, and she gets up for big games. She hasn't been able to do that with Atlanta as of yet, but tonight may be that night. It just may be, you know. So you got to GPP play. Why not? If you could squeeze her in, you know, and fade someone else, then you do that. Bonner, Lloyd, and Bird is fine, Angel. You know, if you're asking if that's your core three, I think those are excellent core three. How you doing there, Henry Boyd? Glad you're here as well. Multiplayer tie for Carla. All right, it might be. All right, Tori says I like Sykes over Montgomery. Well, yeah. Sykes has the capabilities. There's no doubt about it. She's a slasher. She's, you know, she has the proper ingredient for Washington, you know, to be able to do some damage. The only thing is that Washington is not, you know, they're decent up front as far as the defense is concerned. T-Hawk gets in there. You got aerial powers. You know, Sanders is just brutal inside. I mean, she can get into foul trouble, but she's definitely a good defender. Gets a lot of blocks. Makes it a little difficult on some of these slashes. This is why I like Atlanta's backcourt as far as the shooters are concerned. Bentley and Montgomery, I'm willing to take a stab at those girls, especially Montgomery for 5,700 or 5,800. I'd rather take a dive at her. Yeah, Curry no minutes, James. The first game, I mentioned that here. I was really shocked with that. Even as I watched, you know, the highlights of the game, I noticed, and I looked at the box score because I didn't get to. I was out Sunday, so I didn't get to watch any of the games. But I just saw highlights, and I noticed that she didn't get any minutes. I was really surprised. I expect her to have some minutes tonight. I don't see the reason why not. If you're gonna sit her at this point and not get her at least 10 to 12, 15 minutes, it'll be a little disappointing for Washington. Washington still did win the game the other day with her not playing at all. BG for real. Wow. Yeah, I didn't check that, man. Yes, guys, please. I appreciate it. If you're on here, hey, I appreciate you drop a like on the video. It's very, very important. for me, for my channel, for the growth of the channel, and for us as a community to keep going and everything is definitely important. It definitely helps with the algorithms. It helps with ranking and so on and so forth. And obviously, like I said before, I plan to do a lot more other things. Like I'm doing NFL, I'm going to be doing NBA, and so on as we go on into the new year. So it's going to be a busy next several months with sports here at DFS Zone. So I appreciate definitely all the likes. And if you're first time here, definitely subscribe. Don't forget to do that because and don't forget to put on those notifications because I upload and you'll get that information right away. You get those videos right away, live shows or first look videos. So yes, definitely, I agree totally. Thank you so much for mentioning that. BG for real. All right, Sanders, Sir Dave Sanders. Yeah, I like Sanders. Like I said, I like Sanders better than Breland. I like Howard better than Breland. And I actually like Elizabeth Williams better than Breland. But Breland could surprise people. In that mid-tier 7K to 7,500 range, those three girls are excellent. But I think 6,900, Williams is at a great price. And then at the same time, Natasha Howard is good enough to get 40, and Sanders can get 40 as well. So those two girls have a little bit of upside. They can get you 8x, maybe even 9. Okay, Tori says, I like Breland. Yeah, Ruff and Pratt, I don't know, Henry. I'm not on Ruff and Pratt today. I would hope that they put Curry because I did, squeeze in Curry in at least 2 of my lineups today. So I'm more on Monique Curry. So I'm taking a stab at that as a GPP and hope that she gets some time. I don't know about Ruff and Pratt. I think that Curry has better numbers than Ruff and Pratt. I mean, she's looking at Ruff and Pratt. I'll tell you right now, Ruff and Pratt away from home, 36% field goal percentage and 33% from 3. With 33% is not too bad. Averaging about 11 fantasy points per game. But in the 4 games and the minimal minutes that she has played against Atlanta, she has only averaging 18% field goal percentage, and that's about it. Not even had a 3, and shooting only 76% from free throws, and only averaging about 12.5 minutes. So numbers don't look great. I like to go with the numbers. I'm definitely on Curry more if they put her to play. Curry's numbers are better: 54% against Atlanta, 67% from 3, 100% from the free throw line, taking 8 of 8, and averaging about 14.5 fantasy points. So. Sorry, I like Breland, Griner, and Lloyd. Griner and Lloyd, I'm willing to take a stab at Griner. Yeah, I mean, that's not a bad core 3. Lloyd, I definitely love. Griner, tough matchup for her again, But again, she has 55 point upside. It may happen, I mean, you got to be different to win a GPP. You have to do it, especially if you're playing GPP. If this is a cash game that you're thinking about, I would not go poly with Breland or Griner. Lloyd, yes. Hey, how you doing there, Bobby? Nice to see you too, man. Glad you made it. Natasha Howard. I like her tonight. I definitely do. I like her and Stewart. I love her and Stewart, or Stewart and Jewel Lloyd as a team stack. Okay, let me mention that obviously the best stacks of the day are Phoenix, Bonner, Taurasi, or Bonner with Griner is probably the best team stack. And then Seattle is definitely Stewart with Lloyd or Stewart with Natasha Howard. And then Washington, just to throw it out here before I forget, and then Washington, Atlanta. Obviously, Washington has got to be Della Don. All right. I like Della Don, but I don't like her with Christy Tolliver today because of the matchups. So I would say Della Don with Sanders is probably a good front court if you wanted to stack those 2 girls together. And with Atlanta, I think you definitely got to take a stab at a Tiffany Hayes for a steady play if you wanted to, with Miss Elizabeth Williams up front. I think those are the best 2, with Elizabeth Williams having the better ceiling, and not the better ceiling, the better the better ceiling. She has the better upside as opposed to Hayes. She can get you 40, 45. How about Stewart? Glenwood Thomas? Yes, I love Stewart. Stewart is in some of my lineups. Hawkins, Billings instead of Curry. Hawkins or Billings, Bobby, love both Hawkins and Billings. I mentioned it early on. I know you just came in. I already mentioned I definitely like Hawkins and Billings at that 4K, 4,000, 4,100. They're perfectly priced. They're capable of getting 20 or better. And they're in a good matchup against one another. So I mean, I definitely like them. And Hawkins, I like. She has a little bit more upside as far as that she can hit the threes. All right, and she does rebound fairly well. Yeah, James Perkins, Atlanta and Phoenix are in a must-win situation. Absolutely, you are 100% correct. They lose tonight, they find themselves in a very, very bad position. They're in an elimination mode the rest of the way, and no team wants to go in elimination mode for the next 3 games just to try to survive. They're going to have to win every game after tonight. So, yes, I would, in a way, I would love to see Atlanta and Phoenix win games tonight. So this is what we know. We're going to get a decent series out of both of these game out of these 4 teams. That will be awesome for the WNBA. So we'll see how it goes. Value plays for Angel, the best value plays, like I said, there ain't many in that lower price range. If you're looking at forward, obviously the best bet is to take Angel Robinson. I stuck her in like 2 of my lineups due to the fact that she's 3,200 here on Fanduel. I think she's like 34 on DraftKings, which is not too bad either. So I would say Angel Robinson is forwards is the lower, and other than that, you got to go up to at least 4K on Fanduel for Ms. Billings or Ms. Hawkins. I think they're the best possible plays there at forward. And at guard, the lowest value guard that I think I saw, not many. I think the lowest you can go is probably Breanne January, and she's 5,300. That's not even a value play. And if you're going really low, like I said, I really like Curry. Turner has been getting about 10 to 14 minutes the last few games. Maybe Yvonne Turner. Me being a GPP guy, loving to take a little bit of a risk, I would go with the riskier play would be having Monique Curry, and having Monique come in there at 3,600, and she can get me 15 to 20, and get 15 minutes or so, or up to 16, 17 minutes. I think she could get me value, and she has the capabilities of getting 20. And she's played well against this team. I mentioned that already. 54% and 67% from 3 in the games against this team. That's why I was really surprised she didn't get any minutes in game 1. But you know how some of these teams are in the WNBA. Monique Curry didn't play, and all of a sudden, bam, she gets 15 minutes tonight. So I'm going to take a risk and play Monique Curry there as my low value play at guard. But other than her, I'm not anybody else. I don't think Pratt is going to get enough. I don't think Turner. I'm not feeling them. And other than that, I do like Breanne January simply because of the minutes. And she's capable of hitting the 3. She shoots 45% from 3. I mean, she's absolutely good there when she has those open looks. She is 5,300, but she gets minutes. If she can get the minutes and can land a few threes and make a couple other things happen, she can get you 20 to 25. Henry Boyd likes Atlanta. Likes Atlanta tonight, and likes Tiffany Hayes. Yeah, I mean, Tiffany Hayes, she's pretty steady. I love her as a cash play any given day. She's pretty good at that. 25 to 28, she can get you that. She doesn't have a really high ceiling, no really big upside, but, she's good. If you want to play her in cash game, the GPP, hopefully she'll have a great game like that, bust out for 35, 40. I just don't know. I think that's definitely a tough play there. Okay. Artful Dodger. Stewart is the definite. Yes, I like Stewart. He doesn't know want to go as high for Deladon or lower for E. Will. Well, I mean, E. Will, Elizabeth Williams is a good player at 6,900. I mean, she's shown that she can play against this team, and she's done fairly well. E. Will 69% against this team in 4 games from the floor and 67% from the free throw line, which is a little bit above our average, but she's averaging 9 rebounds a game against this team and 1.5 blocks. So nearly 2 blocks a game in the matchups against Washington. So Elizabeth Williams is definitely, and she had to obviously have more of a major role in her offense, especially now that McCarthy's out. McCarthy's a big loss. You're losing out on 16, 17 points per game without McCarthy. So Gabriel Santos Sanders or Griner if you have money for both. Uh, yeah, I mean the bigger upside is the one with the best upside is going to be Griner, Gabriel. You know, in my opinion, I mean the numbers will show that she's definitely the better. She is going to cost you what, about 1,000 more? She's going to cost you 1,000 more than Sanders. You know, 1,100 more. So I mean, yeah, I mean today I don't see her getting more than 40. And you know what? To be honest, at $1,100 more, Sanders is a better play in my opinion. Uh, Due to the matchup. I think that, you know, Sanders is going to be tough on Griner and Deladon as well. They're a little bit more athletic. They're a little bit longer wingspan. These girls are very, very athletic, Deladon and Sanders. That's why I could see already Washington and Seattle having a great WNBA final with those two girls up front, with Howard and Stewart, and then Deladon and Sanders. That's going to be a nice matchup. I could just see that already, Washington and Seattle in the finals. But I mean, it's all due to that athletic ability these girls have up front. You know, they're not the typical bigs. These girls could do a number of little things. So, me Sanders, if it's me, I'd rather save the 1,100 if I can get another better play somewhere else, and I can throw in Sanders and not have to use Griner. I think that would not be a bad idea, simply because I think the matchup is tough for Griner. But again, anything can happen in the WNBA and in the playoffs. If you watch sports long enough, you'll know that anything can happen any given day. So Griner could come out and have a 55-60 spot today. You just never know. I don't believe she will, but it's a possibility. Bonner and Brittany. Yeah, Griner. I mean, if you could go, I have no problem with it. I said that before. If you're gonna stack a team stack, good team stack would be Bonner with Tarazi or Bonner with Brittany Griner for Phoenix. That would be good. And I like Seattle with Lloyd and Stewart, and I like Washington with Deladon and Sanders. Those are my three best team stacks that I like today. Lloyd, Stewart, and Bird. That's fine. Yeah, that Seattle stack is fine. Those girls are going to play massive minutes. There's no doubt about that. Stewart is going to be on the floor. Bird and Lloyd are always on the floor. So, I mean, I kind of like that. You know, I mean, you just hope that Phoenix stays there close enough for these girls to stay on that floor long enough. I mean, you know, and I think they will. So I think that trio there, you're good to go. Okay, Mark Benitez. You got Diana Taurasi, Ariel Atkins, Alicia Clark, Jessica Breland, Brittany Griner, Utility Bryant, Brianne January. I have 900 left. Anyone should consider over. Wow, and this has got to be for DraftKings. Is it, or this is for Fanduel? Mark. Talbert or January? Man, I'm with January. Kate Sizzle. Yeah, she gets enough minutes on the floor. Talbot is good too. I just like, you know, I mean, it's just that Talbot is the price, man. Let me go back there for a moment. Where's Talbot at? Remember, Talbot is over here on FanDuel. She's a guard. 6,600, man. To think that Jewel Lloyd is only $100 more. If you have $100 more, man, go and get Jewel Lloyd. Why would you even consider Talbot? You know? If you want to get one from Phoenix, then I would say pay down and pay the $1,300 cheaper and take a stab at Brianne January, and then you pay up somewhere else. But I mean, I'm looking at 6,600, 6,700, and 6,800. I would take Bird or Lloyd over Talbot any day in a playoff game. Yeah, Mark Benitez, that's DraftKings. Wow, I don't have the DraftKings window up. I mean, I did make some lineups for DraftKings early. I know I don't go over DraftKings. For those who have been with me, I've been pretty much doing FanDuel, and I told you a couple weeks ago, couple other players that play DFS told me, hey, you know, I think you'll do all right at DraftKings, and I decided to start because I've always only played DraftKings NFL. I basically have an account, and I've only ever played as NFL on DraftKings. So I decided to do some basketball and actually some Major League Baseball as of recent, and I've done okay. But I don't recall, but there's, you know, $900 left. I do like Atkins. I do like Griner is okay. You said January, and you have Tarazi. Is there any way you can get in there Bonner instead of Tarazi with that 900 left? I mean, how much more is Bonner than Tarazi? I don't recall. I know I did that early this morning. I don't recall. Anybody on Powers? Tolbert may be a sneak. Yes, Ava Angel, she may be, but I rather pay. I rather pay a little bit more and get Lloyd or something like that. Atkins or Clark? Definitely like Clark. Excuse me. I like Atkins. Sorry about that, Bobby. I definitely like Ariel Atkins, double A. She has nice upside. Clark is a good, steady player. 22 to about 26 on average she'll get. Alicia Clark for Seattle. She has that occasional that she can get 30. But Atkins has shown, and she takes massive amounts of shots. Ariel Atkins is an integral part of the offense for Washington. She plays the three, and she does play more than enough minutes, and she takes more than enough shots, and she takes threes. And we'll take a quick look to see. I know she takes at least 12 to 15 shots a game. And we're going to look at her real quickly for you. As you can see here, I got thumbs up on Ariel Atkins. Yeah, she took 15 shots in the last game, and then typically during the season, as you can see, 14, 11. She takes about 4 or 5 threes a game and about 6 to 10 on the floor. So I just like when players do that, and they also get more than 25, more than 22, 25 minutes or better. So, I mean, Ariel Atkins to me is a better play, just going by those numbers. Scared of Powers. Ariel Powers, I had her in the last game, and I did say that I thought she was, I don't know what they're going to do, Washington, with Powers today. Hawkins seemed to play much better against this team than Ariel Powers does. So for me, I would say the better play is Hawkins, and they did utilize her in the last game, and I expect them to utilize her again. Montgomery or Cloud in a cash game? That is a great question. If it's going to be cash, I think the better play is Cloud. Sir Dave. I think Cloud is better. She's a little more steady. Montgomery has the better ceiling. She has definitely a good upside. She can get up to 40. If you want Montgomery would be definitely GPP. I have her in easily three lineups of mine today. Montgomery. I'm taking a stab at her because if she has one of those games, and she seems to have a pattern, she has like a 15-point game, all of a sudden she blows it up for like 35, 40, and then she'll have another 15 to 18 game, and then she'll blow it up again for another 40. So I'm banking that her last game was a dud, and today's going to be one of those games where all her shots start going down because she takes shots. Montgomery takes more than enough shots. There's no doubt about it. Here Montgomery. 11. She took 19 shots in the last game, 18 the game before that, 19 the game before that, 30 the game before that. All right, so she's going to take shots, and I'd rather have that. So for me, Natasha Cloud, better play on cash, Sir Dave, and Montgomery will be a better GPP play. Wow, yeah, that's tough. Sorry to hear that playing with gaming. Yeah, I mean, it can happen. That's the whole thing. Sometimes you look back and say, damn, if I would have made just one change. I am more on Billings and Hawkins today than I am on Powers. And Powers is, I think, $300 more expensive than those two girls. Yeah, Nas Master, that's a tough choice, but Billings and Hawkins are both in play. I think for me, Hawkins is probably a better play, just slightly, but Billings is just as good. Let me see if I can help you out here. Billings is shooting 50%, okay, against Washington this year, 67% free throw percentage, but she's shooting 50% from the floor, and she's about 14, 15 fantasy points per game. That's about 5 or 6 more points than her average, so that's not too bad. And when you look at T-Hawk, T-Hawk is at 45% against Atlanta and 27% from three, averaging about 11 fantasy points per game. But I'm leaning more towards her, and my thing is that she's playing more minutes. She's playing 11 to 20 minutes as of late, okay, and last time out she played in game 1 and she played only 11 minutes and put up 16, pretty much 16 fantasy points against this team, and she's had 13 or better fantasy points in 4 straight games. So that's what, so I look at all those things, and I lean towards Hawkins more. not only matchup, but as far as how they're actually utilizing her and how well she has done as of late against this team. Bobby, no problem, man. Thank you for coming and getting the advice. All right, Benitez, I wish you a lot of luck, buddy, man. I love Bonner. I mean, like I said before here, if until somebody shows me they can stop this lady, I'm going to ride Bonner all the way through the whole entire thing of this playoffs. Okay, Scotty P, he asks, what about Clark? Clark is okay. I mean, I'm not high on Alicia Clark, but I do have her in one lineup because I squeezed her in. Because obviously with Fanduel, these prices, then they drive you insane with these prices. But Alicia Clark is, she gets you 22 to 25, 26 on a regular basis, capable of getting you as high as 28, at least from what I remember. I never really see her get up in the high 30s. So she doesn't have a big, upside, but if you need to squeeze somebody in there at 52, 5,300, she's probably the best bet. If it's at forward, that's the lowest you can go anyway. Because after that, Elizabeth Williams is 6,900. And if you're looking for someone in that 50 somewhat hundred range to switch up with a guard, then, you're out of luck there too, because the next girl is Brianne January. And I'll be honest with you, I'd rather take Clark than January if I was going to focus on just as far as their price. Maybe Natasha Cloud would be. To me, I would like Cloud more if you have enough money and you want to move around a few players. Maybe Natasha Clark at 5,600 will be a better play than the 5,200 for Clark. But that's only if you have room for a guard. Sykes or Bentley? Okay, hold on. Think of Mitchell or Curry. Wow. I don't know about Mitchell or Curry. Well, I like Monique Curry. Who is Mitchell? Sykes or Bentley playable? Yeah, they're both playable. I would probably go with Bentley because, boy, when it comes to the Atlanta-Washington series, I kind of like the fact that Washington has two penetrator aggressive guards in Tiffany Hayes and Brittany Sykes, and then Bentley and Montgomery are more of like the perimeter shooters, three-point shooters, girls that basically look to take a lot of shots when they are open. And I kind of like that as far as I prefer to have the shooters because they shoot a lot more and they have that upside. So I mean, if I'm gonna go and think about Bentley or Sykes, I'm gonna probably go Bentley. She did score 19 points in the first game from the floor. Didn't do really much more to bring up fantasy points for us fantasy players, but I mean, she definitely is someone to consider. If you're gonna decide between the two. Don't get me wrong, Sykes, she can have an explosive game. She's capable of it. 6,200. Bentley's $200 cheaper. I mean, either or, I think you'll be okay. I think just if you're looking for someone who could be a shooter and can get hot and keep getting the ball and shooting the ball, Bentley is probably the better bet. But I'd be honest with you, I think the even better bet if you're looking for a shooter out of this game is Renee Montgomery, who takes nearly 30 shots a game. I mean, she takes massive shots and she plays pretty much the whole entire game. She plays a lot of minutes. So for me, Montgomery is more of a great GPP play if you're looking for that price. I think at 5,700, she is a nice play. Sir Dave Bonner is a beast. Yes, she is. Scotty P, you're welcome. Breland and Griner, and I added Natasha Howard and Latoya Sanders. Yeah, I mean that's not bad. I mean nothing wrong with Miss Breland or Griner. I think those two moves right there are not too bad at all, man. Natasha Howard and Latoya Sanders are pretty consistent. They can get you 30, possibly 35, and the beauty of it is they both have upside. They can get you 40, 45. So I mean, that's what I like. Whereas Griner, if she is put on lock again today, and she's only able to put up 35 or 40, and when you're paying $8,600 for a Brittany Griner, you really want to pay off that price. You really want to get 10x if you can, or 11x from her. You want to get 50 or 55 from her. And Renee Montgomery, yeah, I love I like I said, I'm on Montgomery. I'm not gonna lie to anybody on who I play. I'm not gonna share my entire lineup, but those are the people, the ones that I really like. I'm gonna definitely tell my viewers who I really like. So I definitely like Montgomery as a GPP. I'm definitely all over Montgomery and giving her a shot. Hey, you know what? If it fails, I'll give her a shot another time again. She is capable of lighting it up any night, and she gets a lot of shots. So I'm willing to take that risk. Is Tarazi a good play tonight? Tarazi is in play. I think just Bonner is a better play for $100 more. I mean, nobody's been able to really neutralize her, and until somebody does, then I'm all over Bonner, to be totally honest with you. I think a lot of people will go there. It's just a matter of money. It's a matter of, can you pay $8,000? But if you're looking for Tarazi and she's $7,900 on FanDuel, then why not pay $100 more and get Bonner? I mean, she's been lighting it up, over 45, 46 per game over, I don't know, 8, 9 games now. She's been the best player in the WNBA over the last like 8 or 9 games. She's just been unbelievable. Granted, at some point maybe she'll be neutralized or she'll have an off night, but until she has that, I'm still on Bonner. I'm still on DB. Tarazi's great, aggressive, good three-point shooter. She's going to take massive shots as well. She's going to play massive minutes. She's very aggressive. Different than Bonner. Her discipline is not as good. She's capable of getting into foul trouble, and she has a tendency of getting into committing a lot of silly turnovers. So those are the only things that will always scare me about Diana Taurasi. But other than that, she is a fantastic player. Robert Redding thinking all guard. Yeah, if you're playing DraftKings, you definitely could take 4 guards. So I think you could take 4 guards because you got the utility player, and you got some players that are listed as guard and forward. Elida Dilladan or Stewart. Bobby, that is a tough question. I love both of them. I actually literally put them in one lineup together. I mean, I'm taking a risk with some other value plays, but I did put Dilladan and Stewart together. I even did it in game 1 as well. And I think I won with those 2 girls. I won one of my NFL tickets, So, I mean, with those girls in my lineup. So I do have them as a pair tonight. I definitely love Dilladan and Stewart both tonight. If you were to ask me which one will probably have the better game, that's going to be a tough question. I'll leave it to you to make that decision. But they're both in play, and they both should have fairly good games. T-Doc, could McGee Stafford be a sneaky play? Wow. I don't know, man. I'll be honest with you, T-Dot. I am not on McGee Stafford, but if she could be some sort of a sneaky play, I don't know how many minutes they're going to give her. These are big playoff games, and Seattle definitely wants to win today. I mean, Atlanta wants to win today. I don't know if they're going to use her. I don't know. That's a tough call, man. I'd rather not even take the risk. But, I mean, again, can be. I think the best sneaky play for me is I think the best bet, if if you're thinking down this price range, you might as well go with Angel Robinson at 3,200 and free up. You can even go with somebody who doesn't even play. I mean, that's another strategy you can use, folks. You can just take somebody at budget like a Peters and hope that she gets a few minutes. And if that's going to save you $400, $500, $600, that can get you another monster play, another mid-tier or some stud. Why not? 4 or 5 studs go off and they go and exceed value. You're gonna be okay even if somebody doesn't even score a point. If you have one player that doesn't score a point. I've used that strategy several times throughout the year in all sports. So I mean, make it work. Dark Dog Bonner, a god. Yeah, she sure is, man. She has been absolutely wonderful to watch. Is Canada worth a stab at her price? She's not playing enough minutes for me. We'll take a quick look at her. Let me take a quick look. We're going to get ready to go out of here. Let's take a quick look at her numbers. Canada, I don't see enough minutes from her. She played only 9 minutes in game 1. Prior to that, 21 and 13 and 21 was obviously a game that they didn't need anybody to play because it was the last game of the season. They already were locked in. And she only played 9 minutes and took only 4 shots the other day. I don't know, man. It's tough for me to make those decisions on someone like that. To be honest with you, no. I think that, if you're going to go at guard and you're going to go at that price, might as well come down even more and take somebody that may get some time, like a Curry or Pratt or even a Turner. You're at least getting some minutes. But she's not getting anything. And if you're willing to be in that range, you might as well go up to January or even 1,000 more if you can and take Natasha Cloud. I mean, she's definitely going to play, and she's going to definitely get minutes, and she's going to take shots. What about Billings? Yeah, definitely. Dark Dog Billings is definitely in play for me. You know, as far as the values, I love Billings, and I love T-Hawk here at the bottom in the forward spot in this slate. Other than that, if you want to really get really cheap and close to budget, Angel Robinson could be a good play, and obviously a very decent play at $3,200. You only need 13 or 14 to me value, pretty much 15, and she has the possibility to at least be close to that. Well, all right, guys, we got 6 minutes to go. I'm going to just double check my DraftKings and double check my Fanduel like usual and get ready for MLB as well. Trying to win some more NFL tickets here for next week's for the NFL season starting on Sunday. So again, guys, man, I wish you guys a lot of luck. I hope I have helped in some sort of way. Again, I appreciate you guys. I don't know how many of you guys are out here, but before you go, I appreciate you guys drop a like on the video. It's very, very important for the channel. It helps with my rankings. It helps with the algorithms of YouTube and Google. You know, again, it's it's an important factor for us people that do YouTube videos. So I will really greatly appreciate it if you do drop a like on the video and on the live shows. Other than that, I mean, you know, if you're new to the channel, hey, subscribe. We got a lot of things going on. I plan to do some contests. I'm gonna definitely do NFL. I'm definitely doing NBA, and it's gonna be the same thing. We're gonna have live shows. We're gonna have you know, first look and so on and so forth. I got a strategies video coming out for NFL. Some of the strategies that I use. This is basically more for those individuals that are new to NFL. Should be out maybe by late tomorrow or maybe Thursday. And then again, Thursday will be the next game, the next slate of playoff games again. So look for a new video for the WNBA on Thursday, and then of course the live show Thursday evening. All right, guys, and that's pretty much it. I would like to also do, I mentioned it earlier, I want to do an NFL like a league type of thing. It could be for free for those who want to do it free. If you guys want to make money out of it, yes, we can do one. I can draw up a 20 player league for NFL. I'm thinking more like something like 16, the whole 16 game season, $2 entry every week, or we could go as far as we could go up to 5 or 10 if you guys like. Just, you know, you could comment down on the comment section and let me know if you are interested in something like that. If I can get 20 people interested in that, I'll be more than happy to do that. It'll be NFL DFS Zone 16 game season, and what I'm thinking is every week everybody's going to win. Obviously the top 3 are going to win, but I'm thinking of a point total, and then I will reward someone at the end of the year, or maybe 2 teams, 2 players, give them some sort of reward at the end of the 16 game season. Whoever has the top, who has accumulated the most points during the course of the NFL season from week to week. So even though you may win some money every Sunday, at the same time, at the end of the 16 game season, you may just get something else. Don't know what that may be because I'm still thinking about it, but if there is enough interest in that, that's something that we would do. All right.